All right, well, hey everyone, I am back with another FortiOS tip. And today we're going to be looking at DLP in FortiGate. Now, when we think about FortiGate DLP, what we need to understand is we're looking at network-based DLP. Fortinet does have an endpoint-based DLP solution called FortiDLP. But with FortiGate, we're actually looking at network-based DLP. And so the first thing we need to do is scroll down and go to Security Profiles, and we want to find Data Loss Prevention. Now, if you don't see data loss prevention, you may need to make the feature visible. And to do that, we would go to System, Feature Visibility, and then we would want to find data loss prevention and then make sure that it's ticked on. In our case, it is, so we can see that option. So again, we're going to go to Security Profiles, Data Loss Prevention, and let's go ahead and create a DLP profile. For the purposes of today, let's say that we're creating a DLP profile because we want to filter profanity. We don't want people to be able to maybe post to online forums using profanity, or type up an email on a web-based email client like Gmail using profanity. So let's use that. We're going to go to Dictionary, Create New, and I'm going to say profanity dictionary, and let's create a new dictionary entry, and this is going to be a keyword. And so if we're looking for profanity, you can imagine some of the keywords we might use, but I'm just going to go ahead and use jerkface. We can make it case sensitive or not. And so for my keyword, I've picked jerkface. I'm going to say OK. And then OK. I've got a profanity dictionary with one word, and that one word is jerkface. Let's go ahead and add it to a sensor. So I'm going to click on sensor and then create new. And I will call this profanity sensor. I'm going to add a new sensor entry. And now we're going to add that dictionary that we created before. So these are managed by FortiGuard. I created one locally, so I'm going to change my drop down here to managed locally. And then I'm going to select profanity dictionary, the one that we created before. So I've got that entered here. I'm going to click OK. And now we're going to add this sensor to a DLP profile. I'm going to click on Profile. I'm going to click on Create New. And let's call this our profanity profile. Let's go ahead and create a new rule. It'll be the profanity rule. We're going to add our profanity sensor that we created. Our action is to block, and we're going to block HTTP posts, and then click OK. We'll click OK again, and now we've created our DLP profile for profanity. Now we've created the profile, but we still need to add it to firewall policy. So I'm going to go to Policy and Objects, Firewall Policy, and I'm going to select the firewall policy I have for outbound internet traffic and edit that. I'm going to scroll down to where I see these security profiles, turn on DLP profile and then click the drop down and select the profanity profile. Now, if you don't see DLP, that's probably because your firewall policy is flow-based. In order to use DLP, you need to have a proxy-based profile or a proxy-based firewall policy. So let me go ahead and click OK. And now let's go ahead and test it out. I'm going to go to a DLP test site, and I'm going to test using the word jerkface. And I can see I've triggered that DLP profile. I used a profane word that we've added, and now it's been blocked. Now, one thing to be aware of is this is using HTTP. If I wanted this to work with HTTPS, I would want to make sure that my firewall policy was set to deep inspection. And of course, if you're using deep inspection, you need to make sure that the certificate being used by your FortiGate is also populated to your endpoints so that you don't get those certificate errors that you would see. I should be able to go to my logs. I'm going to go to I'm going to go to log and report, security events, and let's look for DLP. And you can see I've triggered that profanity sensor because I used the profane word jerkface. All right, everyone. That was another FortiOS tip. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next time.